Hey guys, Sandy here and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a special sparkler design team YouTube hop for you. I am going to be using these two sequin mixes, Firecracker and Oops-a-Daisy. I have some photos of some just kind of ground level fireworks that we did this year for 4th of July. I pulled out a couple of inks and I am going to show you guys how to make fireworks with your sequins. So I'm really excited for this. Be sure to stay tuned so you can find out how you can win some sequins through this YouTube hop. Let's see what I can do. All right, so what I'm doing right now is using my stencil with a tiny bit of purple tape, and I am just going to go ahead and ink around the edges, not ink around the edges, ink around in a circular pattern to kind of mimic the fireworks. So this isn't a true fireworks stencil, but I feel like, you don't have to have a fireworks stencil to make fireworks. You can have any kind of round stencil that kind of radiates outward. Like, you don't need a fireworks stencil. So this is an older stencil. I believe it's from Brutus Monroe, but it is not on their website anymore. But like I said, any kind of round stencil like this will do. I am alternating the colors, so you can see I started out with red in the center of the first stencil, and then I moved to blue in the center of the second one, and I'm moving back to red. I am kind of alternating and combining the different blues and reds, and when they overlap, they do form purple. I'm okay with that. It's not like ruining my life. If I didn't want the red and the blues to kind of blend together at all, you could have really, really carefully stenciled through your stencil, taped it off, but you know what, you guys, it doesn't bother me. So I do place my little photos here just to figure out where they're going to sit on the page, because I'm not going to do a big old stencil right, smack underneath of the photos. So these inks are beautiful. They are blending a little bit on my blending brush as well as I'm putting them in, even though I'm using one brush for red and one brush for blue. So I do have a paper towel off to the side that I'm kind of wiping my blending brush on and just trying to get some of that surface color off. Now I go ahead and matte my stenciled fireworks onto a sheet of black cardstock, and I'm also going to matte each of my backyard fireworks, ground fireworks, also onto black cardstock. Now these are photos that I printed at home, so when I get the adhesive on it and it pulls it right off, so I have to reprint that bad boy. So while that is reprinting, I'm just going to pop these guys up on some foam and pop them onto the page. So it's just a matter of figuring out where I want the photos to layer and making sure I don't accidentally pull the photograph off of the print at home photos again. So I don't do a whole lot of printing at home, but there are some times when I just do. I'm using some liquid Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to go ahead and glue down my photos. I just want it to stick down really well. So I have them layered up like that, and I figure I might as well get my title on the page because I want to get all of this stuff down so that I can play with the sequins. Now I decide to go ahead and make my own tile letters, and I'm using that with this set from the Stamp Market. Now there is a little bit of a learning curve to this, so it was, I'd say it was a little bit difficult trying to get them to line up. I just need to practice more with it. Every time I have used it, part of my letters are spot on and part of them are a little wonky. And I think that might be due to the fact that as I'm starting to sit it into my die cut machine, I think I might be jarring it a little bit. I'm not sure. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but I go ahead and emboss some white letters on top, and then I just go ahead and figure that out to cut it out. So as you can see, I knew that this is a little bit of a struggle for me, so I'm kind of practicing and trying to make it line up as much as I possibly can. And I promise you guys, we will get to the sequins, and I think that this layout is beautiful, and then the sequins just takes it over the edge. And sometimes that's what you want. You want to have a beautiful layout, and you want your sequins to just tip it into amazing. And sometimes you want your sequins to be like the main focus, the star of the show, which is what I wanted my last sequin layout to be. I love big impact sequin layouts, but I also love these kind of layouts where you have a gorgeous already, like your layout's already gorgeous, and then you put sequins on it and it just like takes it into the next realm. That just makes my little heart so happy. So I'm going to use some liquid adhesive again, and I'm just going to lay these letters down. At first I started off with a really old Quick Sticks thing to stick my papers down, but then I realized my crystal katana worked just fine, and the crystal katana is something I highly recommend if you are going to be playing with sequins. I highly recommend getting a crystal katana. I think that it is even better than the jewel picker, and I have 2 jewel pickers. I like them so much. So the crystal katana has like a wax nub on one end and a blunt metal tip on the other, so it just works out great. Now we're going to get into the sequins. Yay! So get yourself a sequin dish. You need a crystal katana and a sequin dish and a good glue, and I suggest Nouveau Deluxe. Get yourself a sequin dish. Seriously, it's easier to work out of a sequin dish than it is to work out of the sequin bag. You can just, contain them better. I used to dump them right out on my table, but then I quickly discovered a sequin dish is so much better. So get yourself a sequin dish, like seriously. Now I am taking the Oops-a-Daisy sequins, and I am just laying down glue on points all the way around my circular stenciled area here. And I'm using the same type of sequin to follow the circle. So I'm definitely creating repeating patterns. Now there are multiple colors and multiple sizes of sequins in these sequin mixes. So it's just a matter of figuring out which ones you want to put down. So I am picking all kinds of ones. I'm going to pull my layout. It's here in a little pile of layouts. So I have the different blue sequins. I have the swirly blue sequins. We have the white sequins. We kind of have like the white bottle cap sequins. We have pearlescent. We have the sparkly ones. You name it, and I'm just putting them on there. So I'm just going to continue to repeat the pattern. And then we're watching the layout literally come to life in front of us. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about the YouTube hop and giveaway a little bit. I probably should have led with that, but I was excited about the layout. So here we go. The Sparklers design team is doing a YouTube hop today, you guys. And each sparkler is going to have their own giveaway on their own channel, which is pretty exciting. So there's lots of chances to win. So what you need to do is go through the hop and leave a comment on everyone's video. And then to be entered into my drawing, I'm going to have 2 drawings. So I'm going to give away 2 sets of sequins. What I want you to do here in my on my channel and in the comments, I want you to answer a question for me. I want you to tell me what is your favorite way to use sequins on a page. It can be anything. You can like sprinkling them on a page. You could say, I've never used sequins before, but I want to. That'll get you entered as well. You could say that you love statement sequins. Whatever. What is your favorite way to add sequins? It could be shaker boxes, anything you like. I'm giving you like ideas of ways to add sequins. Just because I don't want anyone to feel like they are limited, because say you like using sequins like enamel dots, so you put maybe 6 sequins on a page and you're good. as opposed to someone who will use 2 full bags of the sequin mix on a page because they want a big, bold statement. So I just want, do sequins your way, however way you like to do them, and I just want to know how you like to do them. So go ahead and do that. My giveaway is open internationally as well. Just as a heads up, I know sometimes I do giveaways and they're like, is international included? And for me, it's just like, well, of course it is. But then I realize, sometimes it's not. Sequins are not heavy, so it shouldn't be a ridiculous amount of postage to get them to wherever you need them to get to. So anyway, boy, that was a long, drawn-out process. So this layout is going up on, sorry, I gotta look at my calendar. Calendar open. This layout is going up on Saturday, July 18th. So that means what I want you guys to do is you have until Friday. Let's start over. This layout is going up on Saturday, July 18th. Make sure you hop along to everyone's layouts and you leave a comment down below telling me your favorite way to use sequins. You have until Friday, July 24th, so 7 days to get it up. On the 25th, I will do the drawing and announce the winners, and then the week after that is when I will mail, because let's be honest, I'm probably not going to get out to mail on the 25th. Just being fully honest with you guys here. So go ahead and do that. Remember, leave your comment telling me your favorite way to use sequins on the page. I will use a random number generator to draw the 2 winners. So what I'll do is I'll assign each comment a number and then draw the 2 winners after that. So I am just wrapping up my sequins. Don't you worry, guys. I'm not going to make you watch every single tiny little sequin that I put down because this is a lot of sequins. And I'm upset a little bit with myself because the 2020s in the sequin mix are gold, and I already used silver on the page with the word fireworks, and then I already had made my 2020 date. If I would have paid attention that the 2020 was in gold, I would have just used one of the 2020 sequins, and then I would have changed fireworks and spelled it out with gold letters instead of using the silver. But that's just a minor issue. I am completely happy with the way that this layout turned out. Have you guys used sequins for fireworks before? I would love to know that as well. That's not going to get you an extra entry or anything. It's just a curiosity thing. So now I am looking at this. I'm trying to make sure and see if I want to add any more sequins, because you get to the point where you're like, oh, I could add more. And then you're like, wait a second. How many sequins am I going to add for these fireworks? Am I just adding them because I love the process of gluing down sequins, or am I adding them because it truly is adding something to the layout? But I really felt like some of the firework bursts were really sequinized. They had a good amount of sequins on them, lots of sparkle, lots of shine, and then some of them just didn't have it. It just didn't have it. So I went ahead and changed that up and added some more sequins as well. So I did use the 2 sequin mixes. I could have really made this colorful. I could have gone with more than just red and blue stenciling and really just pulled in a bunch of different colors of sequins. But I kind of wanted it to feel a little bit, America the Beautiful theme, because it is the 4th of July. And even though I'm not screaming, I'm not writing anywhere 4th of July on this page, I want you to be able to just look at it and think, oh yeah, that must have been 4th of July. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click subscribe, ring that bell so you can get notification of whenever I post a video, and I will see you guys again real soon.